Alrighty. Welcome back, everyone, to once again another live stream here on the VB Thomas platform. Today, we will be racing in Spain with the All Elite Racing League, as it is going to be an awesome video for you. It's going to be wet rain. Well, wet rain. Rain is also always wet, but it's going to be rain today in Spain. It's going to be chaotic. And we saw these guys battle last week. It was quite intense in Monaco, if I'm being honest. And if you haven't seen that video yet, make sure to check it out in my Twitch. Well, if you're watching later than 2 weeks, make sure to check out the YouTube. But today it is going to be Spain. As I said already, I'm going to do a little bit of an introduction on what we saw last week. We had Craggleton win that Monaco Grand Prix with Tyler in P2 and Dizzy in P3. We saw a lot of penalties and we saw a lot of incidents and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of heavy battling and heavy crashes and all that kind of stuff. I don't think more than 50% made it until the finish line, so that's quite interesting. But I mean, it's always chaos around Monaco, if I'm being honest. But today it is gonna be the Spanish Grand Prix on the what's that track actually called? Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, I think it's called. I'm pretty sure it is, yeah. So the country is going to be Spain. Spain has a population of about 47 million people. It's quite a big country, if I'm being honest, bigger than Belgium. The first Grand Prix ever held was in 1991, and I'm not too sure if the track has already been changed. I do think so, though. Well, the most Grand Prix won on this track is by Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton, and then we had a 112.2 for quali record and then a 116.3 for a lap record. So hopefully these guys are going to be able to beat that. We are not 100% sure, but let's go straight into the track layout, as it is going to be a short qualifying and a 50% race. It is going to be 4.6 track distance and 153 kilometers race distance. As you can see right now, it is a good overtaking opportunity in turn 10, although it is a bit risky, if I'm being honest. I mean, throwing it down the inside, you can easily make that move, but you need to watch out for the guy on the outside. And then turn 12 is just, you need a lot of traction to be able to make that work right there. Then turn 1, the race start is always a little bit chaos. As you can see right here, everyone is just sliding through the track and all that kind of stuff. And you can make a couple of positions into turn 1, 2, and 3, but it's always a little bit chaos. Start finish straight has DRS opportunities, as you can throw it down the inside into turn 1, and that is going to be an easy move for most of the people on track here today. You can easily make a switchback work if you're having a good exit coming out of turn 2. As you could see, the McLaren driver was trying to do that right there, and then we are back at it again here in turn 10. So as I said already, it's going to be a short qualifying and a 50% race, and it is not a very long track, but we do know that it is going to rain. Unfortunately, because I'm the weatherman here in All Elite Racing, but since it's going to be raining, there's going to be a high safety car probability. Tire degradation rate, because it's raining, it always depends on where your line is. If you're driving on the rain, your tires don't really heat up that very much. And then of course your tires are not going to be degrading very much. And then the tire overheating probability also depends on where you drive. If you drive on the dry line, it's going to be higher overheating probability than when you're driving in the rain, of course. So intermediates, wets. I'm not too sure how the weather is looking like precisely, but today I'm gonna do a little bit of a prediction for you guys, as I do know that a couple of guys in the lobby are pretty fast, if I'm being honest. We are driving with the fastest of the fastest here in the All Elite Racing League. I definitely don't think Mr. Insomniac is going to get a good position, because he is, I'm not going to say one of the slowest here, but he did definitely not put a good performance in his first race, which I commentated, which was going to be Monaco. I think Greggleton is going to get a P1 again. He's been looking so fast. I'm going to put Clashy in P2 and maybe Oliver Whittleston in P3. Yeah, he looks pretty good. So, yeah, those three are going to be my top three. Biggest winner, I'm going to put it to Nate. Nate in the chat right now, he is a United States guy. Well, an American is what we call it here in Belgium. But Yeah, I think he's gonna be. He's also driving in the Alfa Romeo car, so I mean, we all know Alfa Romeo is my favorite team. So I'm just gonna put him in the most positions gained, and then the most positions lost. I'm gonna put it to Zach Zeke. He's always been looking very fast. Oh, Nate, I just DM'd you on Messenger. I think. Where? Wait, I think you are. Oh no, never mind. But there was someone else who also was in Murica. That's so interesting. This guy also lives in Murica. Oh no, it's Murieta. Oh, that's something else. Never mind. I didn't say anything. The biggest loser, yeah, as I said, Zach Zeek. I mean, he is always. No, no, never mind, Nate. Never mind. I thought it was called Nate too, but never mind. All right. So it's like Sieg, biggest loser. I think he's always been great in qualifying, but I mean, looking at the points in the standings, he is pretty good. But I'm not too sure if he's going to be able to do that here in Spain. Biggest loser, yeah, as I said, Zach Zeek already. And I'm going to put two safety cars. Rain, it's always a lot of chaos into turn one. We might also be able to see a safety car, and then later during the race, when the battles are getting heated, there's always more chance of getting a safety car and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I do think two safety cars, and hopefully there's not going to be too much because the more safety cars, the longer the race is gonna take, and we definitely don't want that. It's gonna be 33 laps here in Spain, and hopefully we're going to be seeing some good battles. Hopefully, there is going to be two Alfa Romeos, two McLarens, two Red Bulls, two Alpines, one Alpha Tauri, one Mercedes, two Aston Martins, two Haas's, none of the Williamses. There are no Williamses. Wait. Ooh, that's not great, Nate. You should be practicing a little more because we want to see you in the top 10 in the constructors. I'm gonna have a quick look. Well, not in the constructors, of course, in the drivers' championship. I'm gonna have a quick look for you guys to see where everyone is on the standings, of course. Thomas is not going to join the race today. Unfortunately, he is currently in the lead with 98 points, and then we've got right behind Thomas, we've got Craigleton trailing by about 12 points, and Zach Zeek is in P3. Where's Nate? Oh, he is in the top 10. He is in the top 10. He is in P9 with 12 points. Not great, not bad. 12 points. It's like 1p before, and the rest of the races he just DNF'd. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have a quick look. So how many race wins does he have? His points per race are 3. Then we've got completed races 4. So he gets around P8, P9 every couple of races. So yeah, that's going to be not so very bad. Skylone Wolf is in P10. Then we've got Apex Glide. Is he in the race today? Doesn't look like it. Apex Glide is possibly going to lose a couple of positions as he's currently in P8. We've got Clashy, who is in the race, though. He's going to score a good couple of points. Tyler, is Tyler here? Yes, Tyler is here. RJ, he's the Williams, and we are not seeing any Williams in the thingy in the lobby. So I don't think he is going to be defending his position. We do see Oliver. And we do see Zach Zeek and Craigleton, but not Thomas. So that was going to be your top 10. Apparently, Nate has been a little bit unlucky these last couple of races. Yeah, what can I say about that? I mean, just stay out of the incidents. Just a little bit chilly willy, a little bit suave. You need a little suave on the track, especially here in Spain. The Spain siesta, all that kind of stuff, and just chillax. Because wait, what was that word again that the Spanish use when there is like at work? I had a buddy. He did internship in Spain, and he always asked his boss, "What should I do with this?" And then they always said, "Oh, that's something for tomorrow." But with everything he said, they always said, "Oh, that's something for tomorrow." So what he did all day was nothing. And when he went with that task the next day to the boss, and the boss said again, "Oh, it's for the next day," and he eventually never did a couple of tasks. So yeah, that's always what the Spanish say. But I don't know what it is actually. If there is any Spanish people in the chat, make sure to let me know because I really want to know actually. Um, yeah, by the way, guys, I have a new microphone setting, so hopefully the quality is all right. I'm not too sure if you guys think this quality is all right, but My girlfriend approved, and she said it is all right. Fuck, man. What is all right? Because all right is usually not that very great. All right is like average. All right is like a 7. And we don't want 7s here, we want 10. 10. 10 out of 10. Okay, it's good. All right, perfect. I'm gonna take a quick listen myself because I'm not, how do I say this? I'm not convinced. Let me have a quick look at it real quick. I will be right back. All right. It is good. It is not great, but it is good. It's a bit poppy. What is poppy? Like poppy as in the P's and the B's and the T's? Are they a little bit too much? Because I can definitely change that though. Hmm. How would I change that? Let me have a quick listen. Is it better like this? Should be a little bit better. Yeah, we haven't started the race yet, so we're just chilling in the lobby right now, just trying to get our way into the lobby. Yes. I mean, it's always a little bit of a delay every now and then. We're currently already 20 minutes into the live stream, so should be all right. Should be all right. Is it better, Toxic? I'm nervous now, dude. You shouldn't be nervous, dude. I mean, just race your race, It's there's nothing to be nervous about. You've I should have practiced. If you're just because I know you are also on Gran Turismo, right? If you also practiced on your wheel in Gran Turismo, that is also a little bit of practice, and you're not well, people who don't race all week, not even on Gran Turismo, and then hop into their Formula One car, they don't know what to do, and they kind of lost arm traction or whatever you want to call that. Arm practice. But you've done some Gran Turismo, and the arms are not tired and all that kind of stuff. Oh, VR. Oh, that's even worse. But I mean, you still have the arm practice, so don't worry about it. Gonna have a quick look if you're getting started almost because it's taken a while here. It's taken a while. We're probably waiting for some guys to join, and we shouldn't be waiting. Wait, who pinged me? Who pinged me? All right, couple of seats in elite. Join quick. Blah blah blah. Here we go. Good luck. Yeah, I get that, but I mean, it's taking so long. We're all already 8 minutes over time. 8 minutes, you know how much that is? Just chilling here, just chilling. It's always like this. And I can put the be right back screen on, but that wouldn't be very interesting for you guys. Yeah, that's a lot of seconds. Let me do the calculations. Eight times 60, that's about wait, 8 times 6. 48 yeah. Yeah. 48. 480. Yeah, is it? Yeah, it is. I was correct. How did I miss that? I'm so into darts and I should know this, but kind of forgot it or something like that. 4 times 8, is that really 48? No, 6 times 8. Yeah, you probably used a calculator. All right, the race is gonna be starting pretty soon, so I'm gonna put it here. We're ready. Holy moly, yes, sir. Here we are. So be right back screen can go away as we are currently into the race right now. Hopefully, it's gonna be a pretty good race. It's gonna be a pretty good race. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna text my girlfriend real quick that she has to come into the live stream. All right, so it should be all good right now. We've got about 18 people in the lobby, and we're still 20 more seconds to go here in this loading screen. It's usually taking a little bit longer. We're still waiting for Lord Maldonado. as he's probably the one with the worst Wi-Fi here on the grid, as it's taking quite a while before he readies up or whatever he needs to do to be able to join this lobby. Just fix some good Wi-Fi, bro. No, not saying you've got bad Wi-Fi, but it could possibly be something. Oh, this is looking horrible. It's going to be so much rain, and I do think it's going to be wet tires. It is indeed going to be wet tires, as everyone is still in the pit lane. They're possibly waiting for the rain to be over, as I'm not pretty sure if it's going to be full rain during the race or if it's going to be wet to intermediates to softs or whatever tire they want to go on. As the first driver who's coming out is the Ferrari, and that's possibly going to be a mini Platties, something like that. As he's now coming out of the pit lane, make sure you don't crash out directly coming out of the pit lane, as he already had a little bit of a snap there coming out of the pit lane, as he's getting followed by the Haas driver, and that is going to be Callum. Callum is not in the top 10 yet in the Drivers' Championship, so possibly he wants to get some points here in Spain, as there is a big chance of people getting points here in Spain, because usually there's a lot of people crashing out in Spain, and especially when it's raining. So yeah, hopefully it's gonna be a good race. I'm pretty sure of that. Mini Platties. Oh, such a weird name, bro. Mini Platties. And I'm gonna struggle saying that name on the stream too. I'm just gonna be struggling, like mini Platties. What? All right. Now entering sector 2, as this is a very difficult corner in my opinion. The long right-hander. I mean, it's not really a long right-hander, but it's like a fast right-hander where you can easily catch track limits on the outside coming out of that corner. So right now the long left-hander. This is indeed a long left-hander, and I'm gonna take the track info with me real quick because I want to see what corners what turns every corner is. This is gonna be 2, 3, 9. Yep, should be all good. All right. It's gonna be Mini Platties right now starting his lap. The Ferrari driver is gonna be the first one to coming around the finish line, as he's going to be starting his lap here. The Ferrari driver now entering turn 1, taking a lot of curb on the outside and possibly also on the inside, although he needs to watch out that he doesn't slip coming into that corner. Now into turn 3, a long right-hander, as it is possibly going to be a good first sector for the Ferrari driver. I'm going to put the lap data with us real quick, as he does put the fastest first sector. Now coming into turn 4, long right-hander, as he's going to be a slow left-hander now into turn 6, as he has a little bit of a snap there. This turn 5, my apologies, and then entering sector 2 at the moment, as we've got this little bit of a chicane something. I'm not too sure what I should call it, as we're now entering this fast right-hander. Turn 9, that is, entering turn 10. You're gonna have a little bit of DRS here on this straight, although the guys are not gonna be able to use that right now, as it is full rain on the track, and we all know that there's not gonna be a DRS opportunity when it's full rain. The Ferrari driver with a little bit of a snap there as he passes the McLaren driver, and I do think he's not really used to the setup, as he is sliding all over the place now, battling with his car. He's not battling with the people on track. He's battling his car at the moment. Now coming around the last corner, as it is going to be a 127.4. What is the Haas driver going to do, who was right behind him, as he's coming around the corner? A 127.3, as he is improving by about 1.9 tenths on the Ferrari driver. Let's go back to Mooner, as he now puts himself in P1. And then it's going to be Oliver Whittleston in P1 with a 124.0. And the guys in P4 and P5 really need to do something about their traction, as they're not really very fast here in Spain at the moment. But maybe those are the guys that are replacing someone. And usually, I mean, you know, you've got to think of this, right? You've got a league, you've got a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3. This is tier 1, and you're trying to fill tier 1 when people are not showing up. Someone retired on track already, and that's possibly the Mercedes driver right there on the right side of your screen. That's going to be the left side, as he's into the wall. He doesn't have... Oh, wait. Callum and Mini Platties already retired in the pit lane. That's pretty interesting, if I'm being honest. Maybe they don't want to be caught up in any incidents during the first lap. first corner. You know, if you're in the middle of the pack in Spain, it's always chaos. But as I said, you want to fill your tier 1 every now and then when people are not showing up. You're going to ask tier 2 and tier 3 drivers. Of course, they're going to be a little bit slower. So that might be something with Callum and Platties here, as they're currently in P10 and P11. Nobody else has put a lap on the board yet, as they're just dropping down positions every time anyone comes across the line. Right now, looking at Nate as the American driver coming around the last corner. What is his time going to be? As he's going to be not able to open up that DRS, as of course it is raining. Puts himself in P7 as both the Alfa Romeo team both the Alfa Romeo drivers in the top 10 right now. Nate in P8 and Mooner, his teammate, in P6. Let's have a quick look at the back of the grid, as there is a couple of guys on an out lap. Mr. Insomniac is going to be able to start his lap, as he's now coming around the last corner. He didn't validate his out lap, so that's possibly an indication that he's not really very confident here on the Spain track, Barcelona-Catalunya. Circuit Barcelona-Catalunya is what it's called. I'm pretty sure it is. Now coming into turn 1 for the Alpine driver, as he is on the intermediate tires. Pretty interesting decision, as I'm going to have a quick look what tires everyone else is on. Wet tires. So did Mr. Insomniac make the right decision? I'm not 100% sure, and I don't think he did, though. Coming into turn 3, it's turn 4. He's got the McLaren driver right in front of him, who kind of crossed the track right when he came across that turn 4. As he's sliding all over the place right now. I'm not too sure if he's going to be able to put a good time on the board on these intermediates, because everyone was struggling on the wet tires already, and right now Mr. Insomniac is struggling on the intermediates, so he's possibly losing a couple of tens every now and then, as he's now entering Sector 2. This is possibly the corner where he's going to crash out. He had a little bit of a snap there, but he was not going to crash out. Now coming into turn 10, the long left-hander, and usually a lot of people are having troubles with traction coming into this corner, and it does seem that Insomniac has the same issue, although he's a little bit gentle on the throttle coming through turn 12, as this is going to be a long right-hander. The track has changed a little bit. We saw a chicane, we saw a chicane last game, and right now it has been changed to 2 long right-handers, as he's coming across the line with a 128.3, as he's gonna put himself in last position out of the guys who have already put a qualifying lap on the board. Knowing Light coming into turn 4 at the moment, as he's gonna be possibly putting a good time in. I'm gonna have a quick listen to my no, it's pretty all right. If okay, hold up. Knowing Light, the Mercedes driver, he's not gonna have the toe of the guys in front of him. Although the Williams driver is that Alpine or is that Williams? There is no Williams driver in the on track right now. So, well, there's no Williams driver in the lobby anyway. There is every constructor is gonna be there except for the Williams team. So Williams is gonna lose a couple of points on the board here in the constructors battle, as they're currently in P6 if I'm not mistaken, or P5 in the constructors battle, battling with Red Bull and Aston Martin and McLaren. So Oliver Whittleston puts himself in P1 with a 123.7, so we can definitely see the track is getting a little bit faster. We see some dry lines forming here into turn 1, and the guys might be looking to put another quality lap at the end of the race, as Mr. Insomniac is on the intermediates again. I mean, I think he stayed on these intermediates. He's going to come into the pits right now, I'm pretty sure. Put on the wet tires and hopefully improve a little bit. Clashing now on the wet tires. He's coming into turn 9, and a lot of guys usually coming into turn 9, they're going to be struggling with traction on the track exit, the corner exit. You know, you've got that curb on the exit, and it's a little bit bumpy, and yeah, it's not really very comfortable to race on there. So hopefully we won't be seeing a lot of crashes, but I do think we will be seeing them, as Clashy is now coming around the last couple of corners, and that's possibly going to be a good lap, if I'm being honest. A 124, maybe a 125 is going to be the chance. A 126.2, as the Aston Martin puts himself in P10 right now. So a couple of guys are still coming around the last couple of corners. I'm gonna have a quick look with Will Barrow, as the McLaren driver is gonna start another fast lap. He has a 1:26.9 at the moment. He still needs to improve by more than 3 seconds in order to get that P1 on the board here, but I don't think anyone will be close to Oliver Whittleston time. Maybe Zach Zeke, maybe Craigleton, maybe Tyler, but all the other guys are nowhere close to the Haas driver at the moment here in this qualifying session. There's still 7 minutes 40 in this qualifying session, and hopefully someone is going to be able to defeat that Haas driver, but well, we are not 100% sure, you know. Nate, where are you? You're in P7. That's pretty great though. P7 is better than lower than 10. Willie Barrow invalidated this lap. No, he didn't actually. He just gave some space to the Mercedes driver right in front of him. Geddy 1 now joined the session, as he's possibly going to take a Williams seat here in this lobby, as he's going to be scoring some good points for the Williams team, hopefully, as he's going to be the only representant for that team, of course. The blue team with the Duracell battery on the top of their hats. And let's have a quick look to Lord Maldonado, as he's getting a little bit of tow from the Aston Martin driver. He's got this fastest second sector, so he was up by about 5/10 right now, and that's gonna put him somewhere around P10, as he currently has a 1:26.5 now coming around the last corner. If he gets a couple of tenths here in these last corners, he might be able to put himself in P8 or P7, as it's gonna be a 1:25.9, 6.5 tenths of an improvement for the AlphaTauri driver, but it only puts him in P10, as I do think he was hoping for a little bit of a better performance here on this track. He still has to come into the pits right now, put some new tires on, and hopefully have enough time to put a fast lap in, because you know, you need to think, in Spain the fastest quali lap is about a 1:12, so I do think these guys were going to be able to put a 1:13, 1:14, something around there. That's about 10 seconds faster than right now, so every time someone does a lap, they're 10 seconds slower, so you're losing about half a lap just because it's raining, you know, if that makes sense. I'm not too sure if that makes sense, but I do think you guys know what I mean. Lord Jinsei, the Ferrari driver, now coming into turn 1, as I'm not too sure if he's on a fast lap or an in lap. He doesn't seem to be going full throttle through the corner, although right now going pretty fast through turn 3, and usually a lot of guys don't want to go full throttle if you're just on an in lap or an out lap, because the chances you crash out are going to be higher. So right now it takes a lot of curb on the outside, doesn't really take the curb, but does take a wide turn into turn 4, now into turn 5, and he does take a lot of curb on the outside, so that does indicate that he is on a fast lap, although he's weaving all over the place, so he probably wasn't very happy with that lap, just canceled it, and I'm gonna try again after this one, hopefully. Now let's go back to PJH, as he's not gonna put him in the top 3 or the top 5, but it is gonna be an improvement, and it is gonna be a P11 for the McLaren driver, 1:26.1. But we want to have a quick look with the top 3 here. Craigleton is on a fast lap coming around the last corner, and we might want to drive on board real quick, as it is going to be possibly the fastest lap here in this Spain qualifying. Into turn 1, hard braking zone. Make sure you don't lose any traction, taking a lot of curb on the outside, take a lot of curb on the inside, which Craigleton does seem to do, take a lot of curb on the inside into turn 2 too, and then turn 3, don't touch the curb, as it is easily gonna spin you out, unfortunately. Now coming into turn 4, long right-hander, take a lot of curb on the outside, take a lot of curb on the inside, and then just go gentle onto the throttle into turn 5. Out of that turn, you can just go full throttle, if I'm being honest. I mean, gentle on the throttle, but right now, yeah, you can go full throttle, and then you've got this little bit of a chicane, if I'm being honest. Just lift, take a lot of curb on the inside, because otherwise you're gonna hit the bump on the outside there. Then into turn 9, long right-hander, as he takes a lot of curb on the inside and the outside. That's a good one, but be gentle on the throttle through that corner. Now into turn 10, make sure you don't go too fast, because otherwise you're gonna go, oh, well, you overshoot through that corner and you don't really, well, you want to take the tight line through that corner because otherwise you're gonna be losing some time. Now into turn 12, 13, and I do think this is going to be a good lap for the AlphaTauri driver. Takes a lot of curb on the outside as he's coming around the last corner, taking a lot of curb on the outside. Use a little bit of ERS as it is going to be a 2/10 improvement, but he is 12 thousandths away from Oliver's time. So let's go on board with Oliver as he is not improving. He's 2.1 seconds slower. And I do think that the Haas driver just saw that Craigleton wasn't going to get there, so he doesn't want to take too much risks. As he's warming up the tires right now, Oliver Whittleston. I want to take a quick look with Lord Jinsei as the Ferrari driver. You know, I'm not going to say I'm a Ferrari fan, because that would be very disappointing, because the Ferrari team has been looking like clowns these last couple of years. But whoever says they don't like the Ferrari, you know, everyone loves the Ferrari. Who doesn't like Ferrari? Be honest with me. Like, if I go and say to a Ferrari fan, which is the one team, or what team is the one team you don't hate? Nobody is gonna say a Mercedes or a Red Bull or an Alpine, because nobody likes Alpine. Who does? Only the French like Alpine. But everyone is going to say Ferrari. You know, Ferrari is the red team. It's a symbol for something. It's the Italians. You know, Mercedes is actually a German team. But if you ask to a non-Formula One fan, or maybe even to a Formula One fan, what is Mercedes? Well, what nationality is Mercedes from, or what nationality would you say Mercedes is from? Everyone is just going to say English, although they're German. So, yeah, that's a little bit confusing right there. The same with AlphaTauri, though. Do you guys actually know where AlphaTauri is from? Because, you know, they've got the Red Bull, which is Austrian, although their manufacturer is in England. You've got Alpine, manufacturer in England. You've got McLaren, Aston Martin, Williams, Haas. Actually is also in England, if I'm not mistaken. And then you've got, I think Alfa Romeo is either in Switzerland. I do think they're in Switzerland, but I'm not 100% sure. And then you've got AlphaTauri. They're actually in Italy, but you wouldn't say that because, you know, who the fuck knows that AlphaTauri is from Italy, you know? You would say Austria or England or whatever, but, you know, they're actually Italian, so, you know, Scuderia AlphaTauri, which is actually also the same as Scuderia Ferrari. But that's a little bit of a detail here as we're driving on board with Lord Jinsei, and he was improving entering Sector 3, so hopefully he's going to be able to put a good time on the board here in this qualifying. There's not too much time left in the session, only 5 seconds, so he's not going to be able to come across the line to put another lap in. Craigleton puts himself in P1 at 1:23.5, and Lord Jinsei is going to be the first one who's not going to be able to put a new time on the board, although a 1:24.6 puts him in a provisional P4. Let's drive on board with Nate as he's... What is Nate doing? He's just on the gravel right there. Oh, Nate, don't crash out. Don't crash out, Nate. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. He's just gonna be chilling. Yeah, you know I'm watching you. You know I'm watching you. Retired from the session right there, as it is gonna be Ken coming around the last corner. No, it's not gonna be the last corner. It's gonna be turn 9. As he's got the raging Alfa Romeo right behind him. He is on a fast lap, and can he improve here in Spain? Is wet his masterpiece? I'm not 100% sure. You know, the guys who are getting wet. Ha 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 ha. That's an inside joke, as he's now coming into turn 12, and ooh, puts too much throttle on the pedal, and that is gonna be a lap invalidation, and he's not gonna be able to improve, as don't think anyone is gonna come close to the top 10, if I'm being honest, as nobody is improving anymore. Lord Maldonado, oh, he crashed out of the last corner. That is really frustrating. The AlphaTauri driver, he's going to come across the line, but not with an improvement, and that is going to be your qualifying over. Ran out of fuel. That is so unfortunate, buddy. So this was going to be your Spain qualifying, as we've got Craggleton in P1. The top 5 is British. What is this kind of bullshit? Look at the top 3. You know, they're within 2/10 of each other, and then you've got P4, who is 1 second behind. So there's definitely a big pace gap between the top 3 and the rest of the grid, as we've got Craggleton in P1, Oliver in P2, and Zach Zeek in P3. Lord Shinsei is in P4 and Tyler is in P5. Further, we've got Mooner, Ken, Nate, Knowing Light, Mr. Insomniac, Lord Maldonardo. We've got PJ, Clashy, Willy Botto, James, Getty1, and Callum. And then we've got Platzi and JB 2001. He's, how old is he? 22 possibly? He is 22, yes sir. There is one corner that you cannot slow down on. Not too sure which one you mean. It's possibly turn 9. Yeah, that's a very tricky one. But, you know, turn 9... I told you guys, turn 9 is a dangerous corner. So you need to do Chili Willy through that corner. But just, you know, don't put too much pressure onto the throttle. You will be able to put a good performance here in Spain. Let me have a quick look what track next is. I think it's Imola, if I'm not mistaken. If I took a good look, I'm gonna have a quick look actually, because I need to prepare myself for next stream. No, it's not Imola. It's Canada. Oh no, Canada. And if it's gonna be raining too, you know, Canada. Rain in Canada is even worse than rain in Spain, if I'm being honest. So we're currently waiting in the lobby. All right, good. Well, yeah, you don't need to wish me good luck because I'm not really racing, but good luck to you, Nate. There is going to be a formation lap, and let's have a quick look what tires everyone is on. Possibly the wet tires. Yes, indeed, everyone is on wet tires, and I think it's going to be wet tires for the whole race. But here is the thing. Are you gonna be staying on these wet tires until the end of the race? 33 laps on wet tires. That's a little bit risky. So let's hope for a safety car. Stay on these wet tires for as long as possible. Just, you know, try to make a safety car out of it, and not out of the tires, of course, but just try to wait for that safety car, and then you can come into the pits, put on some new wet tires, and then just Chili Willy. You know, that's what you need to do here in Spain. If you want to get points, if you want to score a good, decent amount of points to get yourself in the top 5 of the Drivers' Championship, just Chili Willy, because there is always going to be people crashing out. And you know, in the middle of the pack, it's going to be chaos. And we've seen that track layout, well, that track layout thing I did, the video, it was also racing. And it was also chaos. And it's always going to be chaos into turn 1 in almost every track. You know, we've got Saudi Arabia, we've got Belgium, we've got Hungary. Silverstone, I would say Silverstone is one of the safest turn 1s. You've got Brazil, which is an absolute danger one. You've got... What other tracks are there? You've got Canada, which is, what is turn 1 in Canada? Canada is also pretty alright, if I'm being honest. You've got Monza, which is the most deadliest turn 1 ever. You've got, what else is there? Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is also pretty nice because you've got a lot of runaway room on the outside. So Abu Dhabi is also a pretty safe one. You've got Zandvoort, also like a U-turn kind of something. So yeah, it's all with the U-turns and the chicanes and all that kind of stuff into turn 1 that's always going to cause chaos, including here in Spain. So hopefully the guys are going to be able to keep it clean into turn 1, and let's start this race, and hopefully the quality is good of the microphone. I hope it really is, because otherwise, you know, I've been doing shit during the night for nothing. It's gonna be 5 red lights here in the All Elite Racing, as we're currently in season 1, round 6. 5 red lights here in Spain as we're currently starting the race. Craggleton with a pretty decent start. We've got Zach Zeek in P3 with a possible overtake on the Haas driver. He's around the outside, although he's getting overtaken by Lord Jinsey into turn 1. The Ferrari driver now takes P3 as both Red Bull drivers are having a heated battle. Is it going to be Lord Jinsey with that P2 from the Haas driver? Yes, indeed. It is going to be Oliver Whistleton losing about 2 positions, though. It's going to be 1 position, actually, because Tyler is all the way in P4. Lord Jinsey currently gained 2 positions during this Spain Grand Prix start already. All the way at the back, both Alfa Romeo drivers are having a battle with each other, as there's going to be a little bit of a gap between Nate and Knowing Light, as Knowing Light is having a battle with Lord Maldonado coming around the outside. They're going side by side through this turn, and that's not really suggested. The Mercedes driver backs out of the move, as it is going to be PJ right on the tail. There's an Alpine driver who's having a little bit of a struggle there to keep his car on track, as that is going to be Mr. Insomniac, about 1 second behind the McLaren driver. Callum right on the tail of Mr. Insomniac, and you know, Mr. Insomniac having a little bit of an issue there trying to keep his car on track. It's going to be 3 wide into turn 10 right now, as there is a little bit of carnage there, as a lot of guys are now right behind each other. Well, I think there's about 5 or 6 cars within 5/10 of each other, and that's always going to cause chaos. Clashy now making a move on the Alpine driver. No, it's going to be the Williams driver, Getty 1. And they have sorted themselves out. Knowing Light coming into the pits, possibly with a broken front wing. And let's go back to the front, as it is going to be Tyler right on the tail of Lord Jinsey, as he's trying to make a move around the outside, but there was not too much room to make that move work, as Tyler is now going to wait and make that move on Lord Jinsey as soon as he can, because Zach Zeek, as I said, you know, he's always good in qualifying, but kind of loses some positions here in this race every now and then. The race start is not always perfect from the Red Bull driver, as he lost about 2 positions again here during the Spain race start. And we've got Lord Maldonado lost about a couple of tenths here on the Alfa Romeo driver, as he's not going to be able to get any closer. Mr. Insomniac now on the tail of the McLaren driver, as these two are going to be having some heated battles, I'm pretty sure, because, you know, Mr. Insomniac, he's not a give-upper. You know, I'm not too sure if that even is a word, but he doesn't give up very easily, as he's now on the tail of the McLaren driver, and we're going to see him getting on that tail every now and then, making a move down the inside. He was having a look to make a move, but it was not going to be there. And Mr. Insomniac just having so much pace around this Spain Grand Prix. You know, he was on the intermediate tires during the qualifying. Right now on these wet tires, he feels a little bit more confident on these wet tires, as he should, as he put himself in P10 in the qualifying, which is not too bad out of 19 people qualifying. Knowing Light lost about 10 positions. He came into the pits, and I'm not too sure what tire he is on. Actually, he went for new wet tires, so that does indicate that he has a broken front wing. Let's go back to the top 4, as Tyler is now on the tail of Lord Jinsey. Into turn 3, he's got his teammate right behind him, and I would say, seeing that Zach Zeek has put a very fast qualifying lap here in Spain, you would say that Zach Zeek is first driver, but right now it seems like Tyler is getting a chance to overtake that Ferrari driver right in front of him. But if I was Tyler, I would just let Zach Zeek go past and hope for the best, because right now it's not really giving any opportunities for the Red Bull driver to stick behind the tail of the Red Bull of the Ferrari driver, as he's now going to be draining his ERS. He's going to be draining his battery, and like his tires are going to be degraded. And the closer you drive to someone, he's not going to be able to make a move down the inside. And it does look like Zach Zeek has a lot of pace, although he's 6/10 behind, so possibly not the pace he has been looking for here in Spain. Let's go back to the top 12, as they're having a heated battle going side by side into turn 10, as the Mercedes driver around the outside tries to make that move work. And he's still around the outside. He has better traction, as both Aston Martin drivers are having a heated battle too. Now into turn 12, the outside line driver needs to watch out, but he is going to have better traction. A little bit of contact between the two, as the Aston Martin drivers are taking the benefit out of it. Although right now Clashy losing about 2 positions, which is not too great. We've got Ken right on the tail of the Mercedes driver. 5 drivers, 6 drivers right now battling for P12. P11 actually, as we've got Callum now getting overtaken by JB around the outside. No, it's going to be Jay's Axew, and there is a safety car. So who gets this P11 position? It is going to be James, and Callum has to be happy with a P12. It could have been way worse for the Haas driver, and I wonder who crashed out. Who crashed out? I really wonder. Nobody seems to be crashing out. Possibly Knowing Light, but yeah, as I said, there is going to be a safety car. And we're currently in lap 4, so Chilly Willy, you know, as I said already. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. Oh, broken front wing. Who was that? I think the Aston Martin driver, if I'm not mistaken, or the Haas driver. He has a broken front wing. Possibly after an incident with Shames, as he possibly has to come into the pits. But that's a great opportunity for him to put on some new wet tires, as he's not able to make this corner look very smoothly. Now coming around turn 9, as a lot of drivers are having some interesting strategies or some interesting racing skills, as sometimes you're just pushing so much under the safety car that the delta goes, well, in the red, and then they just have to brake the brakes so hard, and the guys behind them are not really aware that they're braking the brakes that hard, just crash into them, and that's going to be causing front wing damage, of course. So Muna retired from the session. I wonder what there happened. Possibly in the pit lane. Possibly in the pit lane? I'm not too sure. No, wait. Where was he parked, actually? Let's have a quick look. Ah, he's not going to be there anymore. He was parked in between the pit lane and the race track for some reason. I think he just went into the curb on the left side right there and just spun into the wall. As it doesn't seem like a lot of people are coming into the pits right now. We've got Callum and Platties. And I'm gonna take a quick look here in the Discord to see if anyone has put something in the Discord. No, not really, actually. Not really. I'm gonna have a quick look in the general chat. And neither is there some active conversation, so it seems to be all good here in the All Elite Racing. No real damage or anything. I mean, we're seeing a little bit of damage, but no real crashes. Mooner, I think he just made a mistake himself, and right now we've got Craggleton leading the race. He is your pole sitter and didn't really give up any positions yet. Neither did Oliver Whittleston. But these guys, I mean, I'm not too sure if they were in a heated battle because we were looking at the back of the grid, but we didn't see any position changes, so nothing too serious has happened right there. But, you know, this safety car could give a little bit of rest to everyone. You know, heated battles always end up in mistakes. And getting this safety car out on track right now, everyone is just going to have a little bit of a chill moment. Take a chill pill. That's, well, the safety car is going to be their chill pill right now, as everyone is going to be starting to warm up their tires already. And I saw a good video on how to warm up your tires. Actually, what you need to do is press full throttle, right? It's usually on the straights. And then you have to press your brakes for about 30% or something like that, and it's going to warm up your tires way better than it is going to be by weaving, you know. And if you're scared of crashing out, don't be, because, you know, there is a YouTube video about it. I think, who's that Alfa Romeo driver? Is that, wait, I'm going to have a quick look. Alfa, wait, I think there's been a video on that in F1. No idea, actually. No. Well, it was an Alfa Romeo driver for the F1 esports, and he just made a video about it on how to. Jackson Hughes, is that someone? Hughes? Jamie Hughes? Someone like that. But he made a video on how to warm up your tires properly, and all of the esports guys do this. If you don't know it yet, just full press your throttle, just press a little bit of the brakes, and you will be seeing that it doesn't cause any wear on your tires, but it does warm them up. You do have to watch out for the brake temperature, though. I'm gonna open up my window real quick, so I will be right back with you. But yeah, we will be starting this race as soon as possible as the safety car comes in. I'm not too sure if it's gonna come in right now, so I've got to be very fast. Yeah, the safety car is coming in right now. I've got to be very fast. I will be right back with you. Alrighty. All the guys are coming around the last corner to start this Spain Grand Prix again. It is going to be after a safety car situation. We're currently entering lap 7 as Crackleton had a little bit of an interesting start right there, causing a lot of guys to make the overtake before the finish line is there, as it is going to be Nate in P5 right now. He made that move on Tyler, but I think a little bit unjustified as he's giving that position back to the Red Bull driver. We've got Lord Maldonado having a heated battle with the McLaren driver into turn 2, as right now he lost about 2 positions right there, lost another one to Clashy, and Clashy really has the start of his life here during this safety car situation. We've got Mr. Insomniac making up 3 positions already, and JB is going to be your biggest winner already. The Mercedes driver gaining 11 positions since this race start. PJ gets a 5-second time penalty as he well, not too sure what happened there. Gained 1 position or something, but not too sure what was that about. Mr. Insomniac right now in P7, he's going to score a good couple of points for the Alpine team, if I'm being honest. The Alfa Romeo driver having a little bit of a snap there. Nate, the American driver, currently in P6, is looking at about 8 points for the Alfa Romeo team, and his teammate crashed out, unfortunately. Is going to be a DNF for Mooner, but let's get back to P5 as Tyler is making a move down the inside on Zach Zeek. I think Zach Zeek just let him go through, although Tyler just giving that position back. So a little bit of team play from the Red Bull team here in P4 and P5 as they need to get to Lord Jinsei ASAP, because otherwise they're going to be losing the toe. And usually losing the toe ends up in losing another couple of positions. So, or just stick with the position you're in, but then you're not going to be able to get into the top 3, as Lord Jinsei is currently in the top 3. He gained that position from Zach Zeeg right now, as he's about 7/10 behind. So let's get back to the back here as JB is right on the tail of Mr. Insomniac. We know that Mr. Insomniac is not one of the fastest guys here on the grid, but he is looking at a P7 right now. He has been very consistent at the moment, qualifying on the intermediate tires during the beginning of the qualifying, and then eventually he went on the wet tires. He's now under pressure from behind by JB 2001, and we have seen some clean battles from the Alpine driver already. I don't think we've seen the Mercedes driver race last week in Monaco, but right now he's going to be right on the tail. He's going to be sniffing that butt as Getty gets a position on Callum, as James is going to be defending on two drivers actually who's right on their tail, as both drivers are now going side by side through turn 8, and that doesn't end well usually, but now it did. They're going side by side through turn 9 too. But the Haas driver takes P11 right now. They need to get 1 more position on the board to get a point on the constructors, of course, and on the drivers' championship. As Can now right the outside of Mini Platties, as both drivers having a little bit of a snap. Who comes out of this turn first, as it is going to be the Ferrari driver Mini Platties. Let's go back to the front as Zach Zeek managed to get a little bit closer to the Ferrari driver, but it is definitely not going to be enough yet. Zach Zeek now in P4, lost about 1 position here. I'm going to have a quick look what it's looking like tire-wise. 8 lap old wet tires for everyone on the grid except for Callum. He is on 4 lap old wet, so possibly he's going to have the benefit of the doubt at the end of the race, but he does have that penalty. Now having a heated incident with the Aston Martin as he's going to crash out. I think he missed his braking point, and that is going to be another safety car. So coming into turn 1, he missed his braking point, or he just crashed him out on purpose. I'm not too sure. I wouldn't say that. You know, I wouldn't say that, but it's a possibility. He missed his braking point, crashed out the Aston Martin driver into turn 1, and he didn't get any damage from it. I think it was Clashy, if I'm not... No, it was not clashing. It was James Askew, as Clashy is all the way P16, possibly a P15 after overtaking the Haas driver. But yeah, there's going to be another safety car, and I'm going to take a quick sip of water. I'm gonna be blowing my nose real quick, so I will mute myself for a second. Chaos for the Alfa Romeo team, chaos for the Haas team as Oliver Whittleston gets a 5-second time penalty and Nate gets a drive-through penalty in P5 right now. The Alfa Romeo is, but it is gonna be an unfortunate, penalty for the Alfa Romeo driver. I'm not too sure if that's a justified drive-through penalty, because usually on this game the game tends to give unjustified drive-through penalties every now and then. So maybe Nate can give me some information on that, if it was justified or not. Usually it is not justified, but in this case it could be justified. I'm not 100% sure. I do know he's listening though, so make sure to let me know, Nate, whenever you've got the chance. Everyone is just going to be right behind each other again. And as I said, you know, 2 safety cars. We're already at 2 safety cars and we're not past 30% of the race yet. So, you know, I do think Spain in the rain is an interesting decision, but, you know, I'm not calling out the owners, of course. I know Mr. Insomniac puts a lot of time and effort into this league, and to see 90 people in the lobby right now makes me very happy, because I know how hard he's been working for this. He's been getting me in for commentary and trying to get everyone involved into this division. And yeah, it's looking great for the Alpine driver, getting to see his division grow that much. As I mean, himself, he races himself, but let's be honest, he didn't score too much points on the board yet. I'm gonna have a quick look where he is in the Drivers' Championship. He's in P12. He scored about 7 points, so that's not gonna be too bad, if I'm being honest, but it's not gonna be great either. He's currently in P10, so he's gonna score another point. I'm not too sure how the point system is looking like here in this league. I'm gonna have a quick look. How many points did the guys get in Monaco? All right, so the winner gets why did this guy get 33? Oh yeah, that's a sprint race. All right, makes sense. So the winner gets 25 points, which is going to be the usual F1 points. Yeah, if you guys don't know, P1 gets 25 points, P2 gets 18 points, P3 gets 15 points. Then it's going to be 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1. Fastest lap also gets a point, although you have to be in the top 10 to get that point. Sprint race is going to be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, as there is also a fastest lap point there. So it's not going to be a sprint race today. So that's I'm going to say it's a little bit lucky, you know. Racing on Spain is always chaos and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be good racing usually on Spain, but there's not always gonna be a lot of overtaking opportunities on Spain. I'm gonna listen one more time to my microphone, so hopefully the quality is gonna be good, because, you know, I've been working so hard to get my microphone to work and all that kind of stuff, and the safety car is coming in, so I've gotta be fast. Yeah, all of those guys who said my microphone wasn't really that well. Fuck you. It's good. It's perfect. It's better than most of the commentators. So let's have a quick look with Craggleton right now in P1. He's gonna have a sketchy start like he had before, as you know, he doesn't have a lot of traction coming through that corner. Neither did Lord Jinsei though, as Zach Zeek is right on the tail, and Tyler just has to hold everyone up right behind him. Although Nate is gonna come into the pits after this lap due to his drive-through penalty. JB now gets that position on Mr. Insomniac, so does BJ. And Zach Zeek now with a good run into turn 2, around the outside into turn 3, as that is going to be a move by the Red Bull driver, but not enough. He doesn't have enough traction, and Lord Jinsey still takes P2. Now down the inside into turn 4. Both drivers keeping it clean through this section of the track, and it seems like Lord Jinsey keeps that position. There has been an incident, and that is going to be BJ all the way in P15, and another virtual safety car, as that is going to be your 3rd yellow flag here in this Spain Grand Prix. Always chaos, guys. Always chaos. As I said, you know, who the fuck had that idea to race on Spain in the wet weather? No, let's be honest, guys. You know, usually the guys are using, well, a lot of leagues are using dynamic weather, and you don't know whether it's going to be raining or not. But seeing that it's going to be, does it actually rain a lot in Spain? I don't know. Usually in the east it does. Oh, Barcelona is in the east. Yeah, so I mean, there's a chance it's going to be raining today. But of course, you know, it's summer, so the chances are quite slim. So Craggleton already with a gap of about 1.4 seconds on the Ferrari driver. The Ferrari driver is now going to push a little bit to try and to stick into that toe of the AlphaTauri driver. Nate comes into the pits. He's going to serve his drive-through penalty, but is he going to be able to serve that because it's a virtual safety car? Clashy retired from the session, crashed out of turn. What turn is that? Turn 14, turn 16. It is turn 14. It is turn 14. There's not many. Yeah, no, he didn't serve his drive-through. Oh, Nate. No way. Nate came into the pits, tried to serve his drive-through penalty, and no, man. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Oh, the safety car is coming out too. Oh, another safety car. Great. Well, we're gonna be sitting here a while, I think, because we're already 1 minute and 1 hour and 10 minutes into the stream, and we're not halfway past the race yet. There has been 3 safety cars already, so we're just sticking on the tail of Nate, which Getty is doing right now. See how close he is. See how close he is. He's racing a little bit dangerously. Nate, you have to come into the pits when there is no safety car, not even a virtual safety car. So it was a virtual safety car, and you can't serve a drive-through to the... Well, while it's a virtual safety car. Yeah, because you know what it is? A drive-through penalty has a certain amount of seconds you lose. And having a drive-through penalty when it's a virtual safety car is going to make you lose less time than it is going to be when you're coming into the pits under a, well, no safety car, no virtual safety car. So a lot of guys are coming into the pits actually. If Craggleton, Lord Jinsey, Tyler, Oliver, Willie Bro, and the only driver who's going to stay out is JB and Zach Zeke. Risky situation. Mr. Insomniac also gaining that position. So the guys in P5, P6, P7, P8 are going to be having issues with the guys ahead, because, you know, it's not the fastest guys ahead. We've got Mr. Insomniac, James, JB. They were all racing at the back of the grid. Zach Zeke has been disqualified from the session, ignoring yellow flags. And that's going to be your Red Bull driver out of the race. Oh my days, what a chaotic race here in Spain right now. And that means that JB is going to be getting your race lead. And the Mercedes driver, I mean, I don't think he has been racing on this P1 for a long time, or if he ever has raced in P1 in a race. With James right behind him and Mr. Insomniac in P3. This is definitely not the podium we thought we were going to be seeing, but of course, there's still a lot of time before everyone is coming across the finish line to capture their, well, provisional position, because we still have to wait for penalties. We still have to wait for everyone to come across the finish line, actually, because, you know, right now you see that James Askew, he's got a penalty. If it's a 5 seconds or a 9-second penalty, we still have to wait for maybe the top 6 or 7 to come into the to come across the line, because otherwise they're going to be losing a position and all that kind of stuff. Blah blah blah. Mini Platis now with a 3-second time penalty, as we're still having to wait, and it is going to be another lap after the safety car. So sit tight, get some popcorn, get some water or whatever you want to drink, a beer maybe. I definitely don't suggest you to drink a beer, but if you like beers, you know, get a beer, whatever. My apologies, guys. I had to sneeze. And you might be able to hear that I'm not 100% there yet, because I'm still stuck with this nose and this. You know, it sounds like I'm living under a stone right now. But my nose is just full of, you know, what the fuck is is in your nose when you're having a flu. I don't know. Oh, by the way, maybe this is the perfect time to check out the sponsors of myself. We've got Mr. Camayo, who is a graphic designer. He's my personal graphic designer, and he made this overlay, which you guys are able to see right now. So if you want to check him out, make sure to do it. He actually offers some good prices for the guys who have been mentioned by me. Well, wait, who mentioned me? You know, just tell him, I know VB Thomas, I know you offer some good prices, and you will be able to get some good prices if you need anything graphic designer wise. And then we've got Divine Eye. I know there's a lot of British guys in the chat or in the race or whatever. Divine Eye is a tattoo artist. So if you're looking to get a tattoo, if you're getting your first race win, which JB might be getting today, just let it tattoo on your balls or wherever you want to get a tattoo on. Just go to Divine Eye, and he's happy to give you a tattoo on the ball. So, oh, it would be so funny, you know. What day is it today? 13th of August, 2023. First win in AER, Spain Grand Prix, and then just on the balls. That would be fucking funny. Or on the ass. Ah, that would be such a good joke, actually. If you're drunk and you're getting a race win, and you didn't know what you did the other day, just get a tattoo. That would be fucking funny. But the safety car has come into the pits. It is going to be the Mercedes driver starting this safety car situation again as he's coming around the last corner, and he's going to go. We're all racing again here in Spain, and James also got a track invalidation there. Well, a track limit coming out. Disqualified. Ignore drive-through penalty. Nate gets a disqualification. So does James. And this is a really chaotic race. Nate, wait, why did he get a disqualification? It was a safety car. Yeah, this is really stupid. And so did James. James just left the session. He can't be bothered. It's going to be 7 people out of the race already. No, it's going to be 8 as we've got Craggleton in P2 making up that position on Mr. Insomniac. No, I know, Nate. I don't know what's up. That's so chaotic. Tyler now on the tail of Mr. Insomniac as the Red Bull driver is possibly going to get this position, but he needs to get every trick out of the box to get past the Alpine driver, because we know Mr. Insomniac is on old tires, and you know it's not easy to defend the position on old tires, but it is most definitely difficult for the guy behind you to make that overtake on fresh tires, because you know you don't want to make any risks into a corner or every well, you don't want to make any risks. That's just it. Going into turn 10, if you make a dive bomb down the inside and the guy on the outside, I mean, he's just having issues. Oh, Mr. Insomniac now making a move down the inside as Craggleton had a bad exit coming through that corner, but he is going to get that position back on the board. They are losing the toe of JB at the moment. We are currently entering lap 17 out of the 33 here in this Spain Grand Prix. Tyler now with a possible move on Mr. Insomniac down the main straight. The guys are not going to be able to use DRS, but Tyler gets that position. Now Craggleton down the inside as they're going side by side through turn 1, but Craggleton gets this position from the Mercedes driver, as it is going to be Craggleton in P1, JB in P2 with a little bit of a step. Now gets the overtake from Tyler on the inside line through turn 3, as that is going to be your Red Bull driver in P2. He lost about 1 point something seconds on the AlphaTauri driver right ahead. So is Craggleton gonna be your provisional P1 provisional race winner? We will be seeing that later, of course, but Mr. Insomniac now having troubles to keep everyone behind as he's been overtaken by Tyler, he's been overtaken by Craggleton, and the next target of Lord Genzi is gonna be who? It is gonna be Mr. Insomniac. Mr. Insomniac still on these 7-lap-old wet tires. He's possibly going to end the race on these wet tires as they're going 3 wide, it seems like. Mr. Insomniac defending the inside line through turn 1. The Haas driver is just going to benefit from it. The Ferrari driver was stuck behind Mr. Insomniac, and it seemed like the Alpine driver was just going to let him go through. Now it takes the outside line. He doesn't want to battle too much with these guys, as that's some great sportsmanship like driving from the Alpine driver. He's going to score 8 points anyway. anyways if he lets these guys through. So it's better to score 8 points than it is going to be scoring 0 points, getting a penalty, or crashing out someone. So Mr. Insomniac currently in P6 as we're going to go back to the top 4 as Oliver now tries to make a move down the inside into turn 1. Is he going to be able to do so? He sticks his nose down the inside, but he doesn't have enough room left, although he makes the inside line work as JB is just going to let him go through. Oliver, he lost 3 seconds on Tyler already, battling with JB here in this first section of the track as Oliver now has to put everything into his car to be able to get back to the top 2 at the moment. Let's get back to P7 as Getty won. Been a pretty good performance by the Williams driver already, I do have to say. Oliver got that 5-second time penalty earlier, but he received that penalty in the pit lane, and now he's just clear of every other penalty he's going to be getting. I mean, he got already, you know, he got a 5-second time penalty. He doesn't have that anymore, but he's still looking at a P3, so he lost the position to Tyler. He lost the position to Mr. Insomniac, all those guys. So yeah, it's going to be a frustrating evening for Oliver Whittleston as he was looking at a P1 here in this Spain Grand Prix, but currently in P3 with about 2.4 seconds behind Tyler. So he gained about 1 second on the Red Bull driver here already in lap 18. But now let's get back to the top 5 as Lord Jinsey is trying to get past the Mercedes driver. Yeah, I know, Nate. That's so unfortunate. Nothing you can do about it, you know. GG's. You did a great race, you know. You had a great race. Unfortunately, you had that drive-through penalty, and nothing you can do about it. Now, Lord Jinsey, 4 tenths behind JB. And JB is really trying to keep this position because, you know, 12 points is better than 10 points. In any other sports, you know, you've got football, 3 points is better than 1. You rather win the game than draw a game, and that's the same here in Formula 1. You rather have P1 than P2. You rather have P5 than P6 because you're gonna be scoring more points, as that's what. Oh, Lord Jinsey with a little bit of a snap, and now he's gonna be losing the toe of the Mercedes driver. Is Mr. Insomniac gonna be able to get back to Lord Jinsey? There was too much pressure on the shoulders of the Ferrari driver, and there is going to be a yellow flag, and that is going to be by Mini Platties. Yellow flag in sector 2 as he got back on track. Green flags and go, go, go here in this Spain Grand Prix. Lord Jinsey has still got this little bug right on his shoulder, and that little bug is Mr. Insomniac. I should say he's a unicorn because his Twitch channel is, well, the logo of his Twitch channel is a unicorn. So we've got the flying unicorn in the Alpine car, and that's quite ironic because Alpine definitely doesn't have any unicorns in their car except for Mr. Insomniac here. Oliver Whittleston got it back into the toe of Tyler, my apologies, 5990. As I think Tyler got a good position last week in Monaco. He did indeed. He got a P2. We didn't see Oliver in the top 3, but we did see Craigleton win that Monaco Grand Prix. So hopefully we're going to be seeing someone else in the top 1 today. But I think it's going to be a hard challenge for these two to get back to Craigleton if they're going to be battling heavily with each other here. The Red Bull driver taking the curb on the outside, had a little bit of a snap, and that is going to be a position for Oliver Whittleston. Now, has a little bit of a snap coming through that corner. Turn 9 is a little bit of a vindictive one, a vicious one, whatever you want to call it. But, I mean, 3.5 seconds, it's doable in 13 laps, but he needs to be able to get about 3 tenths every couple of laps. But he seems to be doing some great corners and some great lines here through this last couple of sections. And now JB having a battle with the Ferrari driver. Lord Jinsey, 5th position, as he is losing 1 position on another safety car. Oh man. All right, another safety car, guys. Someone crashed out, and that is going to be Mini Platties entering turn 9. So you see that section, well, that little bit of a curb through sector 2 is really a dangerous part of the track. You see so many crash out there, and it doesn't really matter if it's raining. What is JB doing? He's overtaken the Ah, yeah, okay, the safety car is coming out next lap. All right, makes sense. But you see so many people crash out through that corner, and that's just so chaotic, if I'm being honest. Not really only in the exit of the corner, but also in the entry. You know, coming out of turn 8, it's not always easy to control your car because you've got that uphill corner. It's like a uphill chicane, a little bit like Spa-Francorchamps, if that makes sense. I'm talking about this corner here. You see there is an uphill corner, left side, right side. It gives me some Spa-Francorchamps vibes. You've got Eau Rouge and Radion. You can go full throttle through Eau Rouge and Radion, not here, but yeah, it gives the same vibes. And yeah, that's totally fine, Nate. Have a good one. Thank you for sticking with the commentary. I hope you liked it. You know, I'm just streaming for you guys. Hope to give you a good time in the stream. And yeah, I mean, thank you for sticking with me, and I will see you next week, hopefully. If I'm there. Am I there? Yeah, I'm probably there. Yeah, no, I totally get that. I would be the same if I were you. Craggleton, Tyler, Lord Jinsey, Mr. Insomniac, Getty One, all coming into the pits. And the only driver who's going to stay out is Oliver and JB's. JB, did he come into the pits already? He didn't. 12 lap old. Oh yeah, he did. First couple of laps of this race. He came into the pits around lap 9. So he's going to be good for another couple of laps, and he's just going to make it more difficult for all the other guys at the back of the grid. We've got Ken making up position. Getty 1 goes onto the intermediates. Yeah, thank you, mate. Yeah, I mean, I would say have fun to you too, but I know it's a little bit frustrating for you, so have fun with whatever you're going to be doing right now. Just chilly willy, you know, chilly willy. Next week there is another race, so you can get redemption on this game. Tyler with a 3-second time penalty, and I'm gonna have a quick look. Oh no, there's only one driver with a penalty, and that's gonna be Tyler, and possibly those 3 seconds. You know, usually on Spain we see way more penalties, but I think Daniel Ricciardo redemption. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, buddy, have a good one. Getty 1, DNFs, retired from the session. Oh yeah, that's because he was on intermediates. What an interesting strategy it was. Or did he retire on track? I'm not too sure. He probably didn't. He probably didn't. But it wasn't a good idea either to go onto the intermediate tires. It's raining. I mean, it's like a tropical rain here in Spain, it seems like right now. Alright guys, I'm gonna blow my nose real quick again, so I will be right back with you. Alrighty, we're back at it again. I'm gonna have a quick look to the stream. If it's still good quality, or if it isn't, well then I'm pretty fucked, but you know, it's a safety car anyway, so I can do whatever I want, you know. And all the guys who are in the chat right now, make sure to let me know that you are here, because well, we had 90 people starting this race. There is 10 people out of the race, which is quite depressing. But what did you expect in a rainy Spain? All the guys who are going to be finishing the race right now are going to be getting points. And yeah, there's 6 people watching this stream, so I'm wondering what you guys are up to right now. You know, it's a safety car. What the fuck should I else talk about? You know, I can talk about last week, but I don't remember too much of last week. Because, you know, I'm a commentator. I do 6 leagues each week. So, yeah, I forget quite a bit, if I'm being totally honest. Safety car is coming in this lap, though. So, we are going to be seeing green flags whenever the guys are coming across the finish line again. Oliver is going to be starting your safety car again, and Craggleton is in P3. and that's a dangerous fact because he is on those fresh, wet tires. 1 lap old wet tires. There's still 10 more laps to go here in Spain. Will Craigleton get this P1, or will Oliver be able to, well, have redemption for the Monaco Grand Prix? I really wonder, and we're going to be seeing that in about 15 minutes. Now, coming around the last corner for these guys as Oliver is already going to go. JB got caught sleeping, and Willy Bro is coming into the pits. Not too sure what for, if he's going to be retiring from the session. He is not. 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane as Craigleton is now trying to make a move around the outside into turn 1. Is he going to be able to get this position? It does look like it. Into turn 2, he has the inside line, and that is going to be moved on by the AlphaTauri driver. JP with his old tires tried to get this position, well, keep this position, but he didn't manage to do so. Ken now trying to make a move down the inside. He's going to take the outside line, but he needs to watch out for the Red Bull driver around the outside. There is a little bit of contact between Tyler and the Mercedes driver JB, as it seems like Mr. Insomniac is getting involved into this battle. We've got Mr. Insomniac taking P5. No, it's P4. No, P5 actually, because Ken is P4. But Mr. Insomniac now trying to go around the outside. He is on fresh, wet tires. And is Ken going to give this position to Mr. Insomniac? It does look like it. It would be more ideal to get the guy who has the fresh tires ahead, as now Mr. Insomniac is going to try and make that move on JB here into turn 1. He's going to take the inside line. He needs to defend the outside line from the Red Bull driver. There's a little bit of contact as both drivers are going wide. And this is once again going to be a Mr. Insomniac move. He's going around the outside. He has the outside line. They're going 3 wide into turn 12 as Tyler takes P3 right now. JB lost 2 positions there through that last section of the track. And now he's going to defend this position from PJ, who cost another safety car earlier this race. So PJ actually got back quite well as he's now trying to make a move around the outside. He has the outside line, and that's going to be an easy move. JB is just going to back out of the move, hopefully not touch anyone, as he went a little bit too deep into turn 1, almost crashed out the McLaren driver, as JB is defending the inside line from Ken, who's been a raging bull already, but he lost more than 4 positions here in previous lap, because I mean, you know, he was in P3. He lost position to Tyler. He lost position to Mr. Insomniac, to PJ, to JP. That's 4 positions, and I do know, well, I'm pretty sure he is a little bit furious right now. We see a heavy battle between Oliver and Craigleton as both drivers are wet tires. But you know, Oliver on those 14-lap-old wet tires. We've got Craigleton on fresh, wet tires, and he's hopefully going to be able to make a move around the outside into turn 10, as it is going to be Oliver with a very deep line. So is the AlphaTauri driver, but he's not going to have a good traction coming through that corner now into turn 12. And it is still going to be Craigle on the tail of the Haas driver, and he had a little bit of a snap, so he's got to wait 1 more lap to be able to make a move through that corner. Or maybe he can be making a move a little bit earlier now. Craigleton right on the tail. He's having a look. He's having a little bit of a sniff down the inside, but he decides to go for the outside line, as that is going to be an easy move for Craigleton. Although they're still going side by side through turn 1, this is never going to end well. Into turn 2, into turn 3, as he got pushed wide a little bit there, the Haas driver, as still side by side racing, and this is really close. Both drivers having a little bit of a snap there coming through that corner, but Craigleton takes your P1 here in Spain. There is still 7 laps to go here in this Spain Grand Prix on the circuit Barcelona Catalunya here in Barcelona. Oliver has to be happy with a P2. He's right on the tail of the AlphaTauri driver, but both drivers heated battles. Is Craigleton going to get a 2nd consecutive race win here in Spain, or is it going to be Oliver with his race win after a non-participation, I think it was, in Monaco? Let's get back to the back here, as JB is not really on the tail of Ken, but you know, 8 tenths behind the Alpine driver. Is it's a little bit too far to make a move into turn 1, but maybe with good traction coming out of turn 14, he might be able to do so. I'm going to get a quick sip of water, as we're going to get back to the top 2, as they are both within 1 second of each other, and all of the rest of the grid is not within 1 second. I think Oliver is struggling here to make these 15-lap-old wets work. But Tyler, I mean, he's not able to get back to Oliver at this point of the race. Maybe he does have a penalty, so he's about 5 seconds behind Oliver. If you think about it, JB is coming into the pits, 16-lap-old wets. He was struggling too much, so he's just gonna come into the pits, and he's gonna get that position anyway on Willie Barrow and Lord Winsey. Oliver lost about 8 tenths this last sector, well, this first sector here in this lap 27. So I think we're going to be seeing the grid spread out a little bit more because, you know, everyone is on different tire strategies. You've got Craigleton, who is quite similar pace to Oliver, and both drivers right now having different tire lives. You know, you've got Craigleton on 5-lap-old wets, Oliver on 16-lap-old wets. You've got Tyler on 5-lap-old wets. He's a little bit slower than Oliver, but did manage to get a couple of tenths off his time. Is trying to get back as he has a little bit of a snap there. Lost about a couple of tenths right now. But definitely is able to get back a little bit closer to Oliver during this last section of the trap. I do see that he's pushing really heavy, because otherwise he wouldn't be sliding all over the place. He's rather battling with his car than battling with Oliver right now. As you can see, also through that last corner of the track here, he also had a little bit of a slide. But in the rain, it could be beneficial to slide every now and then, every corner. You know, you've got turn 4, which is not really a slide corner in when it's dry, but when you're in the rain, you can really get traction sliding through turn 4 or turn 5. So, you know, you have to be lucky with wherever you're sliding through. But if you take a setup that is sliding in every corner, you're definitely going to be losing more time than taking a setup that never slides, you know. But if it's a setup where you're sliding through turn 4, turn 5, but not through turn 1 and turn 3, you're going to be definitely getting a good couple of tens off your time every now and then. Definitely, we are seeing Tyler right now getting about 1/10 last lap right now, trying to get back to Oliver Whittleston, as he does have that penalty. Let's have a quick look. It's only a 3-second time penalty, so all he has to hope for right now is get back on the tail of Oliver, push him that hard that Oliver is going to make a mistake, and hopefully get another penalty on the board here. He's 1.2 seconds behind, and he's now within 1 second after this third sector. Craigleton is just running away with the race win here. Still 5 more laps to go, as the guys at the back here, Lord Winsey and Willie Barrow, having a heated battle. They're both 17 seconds behind Ken, though. Ken, who has driven a magnificent race. So did his teammate. Both Alpine drivers didn't get caught in any incidents, as they're currently scoring some good points for the Alpine team. They're currently last in the constructors, so these couple of points can definitely give him a good shot in the constructors battle with who is it? Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo team. I do think they're even going to be getting in front of the McLaren team, although McLaren is going to be P5 and P7, so they're not going to be losing a lot of points. Now, Lord Winsey on these intermediates. He is driving on the intermediates. Is it intermediate tire weather? I don't think so. Although he's not looking to slide every now and then, so he might be gentle on the throttle, but he's definitely faster than the wet tire runner Willie Barrow. Now let's have a quick look if he's gaining time on Ken here. The Ferrari driver trying to get back to the Alpine driver. He's gained about a couple of tenths this last section. And let's have a quick look if he's going to be able to get some more. 3-second time penalty for Mr. Insomniac. He wasn't going to be able to get closer to Tyler anyway, and neither is PJ to Mr. Insomniac. So those 3 seconds of time penalties is not really going to be a great influence in this race. Maybe if he gets another one, it could be a little bit of a danger for the Alpine driver, or he could have hoped that Tyler was going to get another penalty. But, you know, due to that 3-second time penalty right now, the times have been put even again, because both drivers have 3 seconds of time penalties right now, so they're not going to be able to get any time on the board. As Lord Jinsei, my apologies, Jinsei, it's all the same, guys. He got about 6 tenths right now during this Sector 2, and let's have a quick look through Sector 3. He got about 4 to 5 tenths, so it does appear like the intermediates are looking pretty fast, or is it just because Ken's wet tires are already out of stock right now? You know, you've got 17 lap old wet tires, and I do know that driving on the wet tires is a little bit of a challenge for these guys every now and then. Entering turn 1, he's gaining another couple of tenths, so Ken is definitely struggling, but I don't think in 3 laps Lord Jinsey is going to have enough time to get back to the Alpine driver. Now let's get back to the top 3, as Tyler is trying to get back to Oliver Whittleston, who is on 90 lap old wet, so even 2 lap old more, well, 2 laps old, 2 laps more old than Ken's tires. And yeah, he seems to be not struggling that much. You know, you've got 11 lap old difference between Craigleton and Oliver, and I wouldn't say he's losing that much time. He's losing about half a second every lap. So if you take that into consideration, you know, if you're racing on Spain, you've got 9 lap old mediums compared to 20 lap old mediums, you would say that the guy on 9 lap old mediums would be more than 1 second faster each lap, but we don't see that happen here today, so it might indicate that Oliver is a little bit faster than Craigleton here in Spain today. Maybe he has a better setup. Craigleton might have that what setup, that qualifying setup, because he qualified in P1, Oliver qualified in P2, so they're definitely pretty close to each other. You know, you saw Zach Z, Oliver and Craigleton, the top 3, they were within 2 tenths of each other, and in the qualifying in the rain, that's really close. So, you know, Craigleton, seeing him in P1 and then not really gaining too much time here in this race, in this last stage of the Spain Grand Prix, that might indicate that he's not really having that race setup which he was hoping for, and maybe Oliver did manage to do that. Now JB right on the tail of Willie Barrow, as Willie Barrow does have that penalty too, so JB shouldn't be pushing too much, as we're looking at Lord Jinsey right now. His time, as the Mercedes driver trying to make a move down the inside, he possibly has better tires than the McLaren driver, and that's going to be an easy move by the Mercedes driver. Now let's have a quick look to the time between Lord Jinsey and Ken. It was last lap, it was about 14.6 seconds. Right now it's 12.2 seconds, as all the drivers are now coming around the last couple of laps they're going to be performing here in this Spain Grand Prix. Craigleton is doing his last lap right now, lap 33 out of the 33 of this Spain Grand Prix. JB and Willie Barrow both still have to put 1 lap on the board here to be able to come across the finish line, but Willie Barrow is just losing some time. But Lord Jinsey is not going to have enough time to get back to Ken. So congratulations to Ken, congratulations to Mr. Insomniac, as they have both driven an amazing race. Position change wise, we are looking at 1 position gained for Ken. We've got 6 positions gained for Mr. Insomniac. PJ was also put a pretty amazing performance here in this Spain Grand Prix. Currently in P5, he qualified in P12, and he gained about 7 positions. So is JB gaining 11 positions here in this Spain Grand Prix, as that is going to be a good performance for the Mercedes team. Let's have a quick look where Mercedes is in the constructors. They're currently P1, so they're going to be scoring 4 points on the board for their constructors battle with AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri, I do have to say though, they're going to be scoring another 25 points on the board here, and Haas is also going to score 18 points. So Mercedes really has to watch out with what's happening right behind them. We've got Red Bull with Tyler scoring 15 points, so the top 4 is going to be scoring a good amount of points. So Mercedes really has to watch out here in this constructors battle. Let's have a quick look to Aston Martin. They're not going to have any representatives here in the top 9 of this Spanish Grand Prix. And then we've got Williams. Neither there's going to be a Williams driver in the top 9. And then, of course, Alpine getting a good couple of points. Mr. Insomniac, who's going to score 12 points on the board. And then Ken, who's going to score 8. So both drivers are going to be scoring a combined total of 20 points. That's possibly going to put him in right before Ferrari. Where's Ferrari? Lord Jinsey. He's not going to be able to... Wait. The guys are doing another lap? Oh, yeah, they're doing another lap. But Lord Jinsey is going to keep this P8. This P8 for the constructors. because he's going to be scoring about. Wait, let me have a quick count. 6 points, and they're going to be ahead of the Alpine team. But I do have to say, Alpine is not going to be last anymore. That is going to be Alfa Romeo. Alpine will get back in the championship battle. Well, not championship battle, of course, but they're getting pretty close. Ken now on the tail of PJ. This is going to be a last lap battle between both drivers. Ken, who managed to get a little bit closer to PJ, and if he can get this position on the board for the Alpine team, they are possibly getting in front of the Ferrari team. Let's have a quick look if PJ is going to be struggling through these last couple of corners here in lap 33. It does seem like he had a little bit of a snap there coming through that corner. Ken, does he have enough? Does he have what it takes to get the overtake on the McLaren driver? There's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of the Barbie doll here in the last lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. Now coming around the last corner, it is not going to be enough for the Alpine driver, as both drivers now coming across the line, and they're going to be happy with what has happened to them. You know, again, gaining 1 position, that's very great. PJ gaining 7 positions. He just had a beauty of a race here in Spain, as JB coming across the line, and then Willy Barrow is going to be your last finisher. 70% tires, that is absolutely crazy. Yeah, this is an amazing race. This was an amazing race. Everyone stayed pretty clean. I do have to say, JB is going to be your driver of the day. He gained about 11 positions here in Spain. Now let's have a quick look at the results. Oh, okay, Ken, perfect. Sorry, I called you a Barbie doll, by the way. I thought it was pretty convenient with the new Barbie movie. Sorry. Craigleton is gonna have the fastest lap on the board with a 125.8. Oliver in P2 and Tyler in P3. Further, we've got Mr. Insomniac with a good amount of points for the Alpine team in P4, and PJ with a good amount of points in P5. Ken in P6. He is Swedish, so that's quite cool. I don't think we have any other Swedish guy in this league. If I'm being honest, you know, there's not a lot of Swedish guys on this game. Actually, I've never seen a Swedish guy on this game. Although, yeah, there was one guy, Sepp, but I don't have good memories of him. So, Lord Jinsey in P7, then we've got JB in P8, Willy Borrow in P9, and Getty1 in P10. All of these guys who I'm going to be talking about right now have DNF, so they're not going to be scoring any points. Mini Platti, Clashy, Callum, Knowing Light, Lord Maldornado. Then we've got Mooner, James Askew, and Nate, and Zexy. No idea what happened to Nate. He wanted to come into the pits. He wasn't allowed to. He wanted to get his drive-through penalty to be done. You know, he wanted to not be disqualified, of course, but you cannot really decide what the game does to you and what it doesn't, of course. So I'm gonna be ending the stream here, guys. I hope you liked the stream. It was a pretty chaotic race, if I'm being honest myself. It was a good race. You know, we had some good battles, we had some good action on track, but for some drivers it was a little bit unlucky. Nate, who else was a little bit unlucky? The other Alfa Romeo driver who crashed into the pit wall. We had the Haas driver who crashed into the Aston Martin driver. So there were a few incidents, but I wouldn't say there were like crazy incidents with like 6 people crashing out and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna be finishing off the stream here, guys. If you're wondering why I sound a little bit muffled, my noise is still not okay and my voice is still a little bit cracky. So yeah, my apologies for that, but I hope I still gave you a good stream. Make sure to check out the links below. It's my YouTube, it's my TikTok. I don't really post on TikTok, but feel free to follow it anyway, in case I would be posting some videos on this league. And then of course you've got the YouTube if you want to check out the video. When the 2 weeks are like behind, you know, after 2 weeks the videos get deleted on Twitch. So if you want to check out the video there, it's on YouTube, and then you've got my Twitch. If you just want to follow the Twitch, that would be absolutely amazing, because I'm trying to get to 500 followers. So make sure to do that. And this was going to be your Spain Grand Prix race in the All Elite Racing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was Phoebe Thomas as your commentator. Peace out.